Adjective-Noun-Paragraph. This is one of my all-time favorite critical thinking exercises that we're going to use to help turn a family story into a narrative essay of abstract definition. So we're going to come back to the story I just read about my father in the Helsinki airport and those shoes. And the first step of this exercise is to think of who the main character is. And I'm going to write that, Dad. And then the next step is to think of words that describe him. And you're going to do this with your own stories, but when you think about describing words, we call those words that describe, words and phrases that describe are adjectives. So first set is to come up with a list of adjectives describing words or phrases. And I want to encourage you to be really generous. When we're aiming for 8, 10, 12 describing words. The trick of this exercise is the more describing words you can come up with, the stronger and easier the end of the exercise is going to be. So here are some words about my preacher dad I can think of. Well, he was very knowledgeable. He was always interested in new things and new places. He was a little bit naive, which means innocent. As an American from the Midwest, he hadn't traveled outside the country. He was a small town man from a small town. He was curious. He was attentive. He was open. He was excited. He was surprised. He was perplexed. How did they know what language they spoke? He was privileged to be able to fly anywhere in 1968 and to see the wider world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got 12 words. Not bad. That's a real generous list. Some of those words are very familiar to you. Some of them aren't. That's okay. You're going to come up with your own list of describing words or phrases about the main character. And you can use your imagination. You can stretch. You can even include things about the character that might not barely be in the story if you want. But again, these are words that you're coming out of the story describing the main character. Now, the next step is a little tricky, but it's really kind of cool. The next step is I'm going to take these describing words and I'm going to trip them into their noun forms. I'm going to turn them into nouns. Now, watch how this happens. Once I start doing it, you'll get it, but it's kind of difficult at first. So if somebody is knowledgeable, what's the noun form of knowledgeable? Well, they're full of knowledge. And I can go down the list. Some of these are going to be real easy. Some of them, it's simple to turn into. You're full of this. The noun form of interested. He's an interested person. He's full of interest. He's a naive person. He's full of naivete. An innocent person is full of innocence. A small town man, a small town guy. Sometimes I have to do that. Curious, you are full of curiosity. Attentive, you're full of attention. Or attentiveness. Sometimes you can just add ness to a word and it turns it into the noun. Sometimes it's a little trickier. Open, you're full of openness. Excited, you're full of excitement. Sorry, my handwriting is getting worse and worse. Surprised, you're full of, you got it, surprise. Someone who is perplexed, this is a really is actually full of perplexion, but that's a word hardly anybody knows. So another one might be being perplexed. Perplexed means, I don't know, it's like a special kind of confusion, I think. I'm perplexed about the answer. This question perplexes me. It makes me think. It confuses me. Being perplexed. And privileged person is full of privilege. So that wasn't so bad for me. Privilege. I could pretty much come up with a list of noun forms. Now I have 12 adjectives and I have 12 nouns. That's 24 words. Woo woo! And my next step is to look at this list of nouns that I have on the board. I want to go back to my story that I just told. I want to think about my story. I can't decide where to stand today. I want to think about my story, and I want to think about the best version of my story and which words do I think describe the character the best. So the best version of this story is all about my dad and all about him watching all those people at the airport. And is it really, if I had to pick only 3 words of what I think the story wants to be about, is it really about knowledge, interest, naivete, innocence, curiosity? It's really about being interested. It's really about, for me, I'd pick curiosity, openness, excitement, surprise, perplexed, and privilege. I think it's about, it's a little bit about being surprised when they told him, and attention. So, of all the words on the list, those are what I really think the version of the story I'm most interested in is about being interested or being curious or being attentive or the surprise of noticing something that's a special ability or a special technique. And if I go through those circled words, interest, curiosity, attentive, surprise, and I pick, if I can only have one, if I can only choose one of those words to focus on, I think, does the story want to be about attention, about surprise, about interest? I think the one I like best is curiosity. Now notice, this is your choice. This is a kind of critical thinking. We're critical thinking when we turn the words from the adjective to the noun form. That's a kind of critical thinking. And our brains don't work this way. So please be kind and gentle with yourself. If you get confused or if there's some words you can't turn into nouns easily, there's nothing wrong with you. This is a new brain stretch. You can send it on the question and answer board. Hey guys, how would you turn this into a noun? We'll outsource it. We'll help you. I'm here to help you. This is new, so be kind and gentle with yourself. Some you'll get and some you'll need help with. I hope I get lots of emails. Captain Kirk, how do you turn scared into a scaredness? No. Well, I know this one. When you're scared, you're full of fear. It's a tricky one. All right, so I think curiosity is what I really, really want the best version of this essay to be. And so now my job is I've decided that I'm going to write this story is now going to become the middle parts of an essay that's defining the idea of curiosity. I've decided curiosity is going to be the focus of this essay, and I need a first new paragraph. I'm going to write a new beginning for this essay, and the work of that beginning is going to be a paragraph that talks about the idea of curiosity. I'm going to write a new 8, 10, 12 sentence paragraph that's going to become the beginning of this essay. It's going to go right before the family story. And the work of that paragraph is to define curiosity. I'm going to talk about curiosity in this idea of curiosity and bring it up for readers and then lead them into my story. Now, notice what I can do. Because I have all of these words, I can use these words in my opening paragraph. So it's really kind of easy to write. What is curiosity? I can even do it off the top of my head. I'm going to write with you. I want you to imagine that I'm typing as I'm doing this. So, curiosity. Watch what I do. I'll use the little red check. I'll use the black pen. Curiosity isn't the same as knowledge. Curiosity is a kind of attention. Curious people are open to the world. They're interested in things. They want new knowledge. They want new experience. It's wonderful. Even innocent, naive people from a small town, as little as their knowledge may be, their curiosity can be the size of Wyoming. Curiosity is not a function of privilege. Anybody can take confusion and perplexion and the problems in the world, and rather than being upset, they can choose to ask questions. Curiosity is a wonderful resource. And my father, the pastor from Terre Haute, Indiana, had curiosity and then some. Yay, Captain Kirk. So I just vocalized 12, 13 sentences of a paragraph of abstract definition that was talking about the idea of curiosity and leading the reader into the story about my father at that airport. So this is your job this week. I want you to look at both your essay number 4 and your number 5. And for each of those essays, you too, after reading aloud and thinking about who the main character is, you too are going to write a list of describing words, a list of adjectives and adjectival phrases that describe the main character. You then get to turn them into nouns. You get to think about the top 3 nouns that fit the story as you understand it. And then you get to focus on any one of those words, any one of those nouns, and use that noun as the focus of a paragraph, an introductory paragraph that defines the word and leads people into the story. This is called Adjective-Noun-Paragraph. It's one of my favorites. Have a great time. I can't wait to see these paragraphs as they tumble in this week. See you next time.